Got one idea that I'm especially psyched out of my mind about. You know, it's one of those ideas where you're just like, yes!
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Dave Flynn?
On the radio.
Hold on to your butts.
Hey there, welcome to Dave Flynn on the radio, the #1 blogcast on the internet. I'm Dave Flynn, and since reading is hard, I'm going to do it for you. Have you heard the guy at the barbecue call his wife the old ball and chain? It's a joke. It's also a lie. It's sort of an old-fashioned term, sort of awkward. But what is he really talking about? A reason he can't do something? It's finger-pointing, but really it's responsibility removing. The old ball and chain is a way of describing a type of anchor. And in life, this idea of anchors, things that hold us back, seems pretty obvious. But in reality, there are different types of anchors. And that's what we're going to uncover today, or we're trying to uncover. This post has been sitting in my notes for quite some time, a couple years now, half started, and I couldn't quite finish it because I couldn't quite figure it out myself. But I hope today I finally have. You can find more stories and essays like this over at winwithflynn.com, but if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's jump into the show. Anchors aweigh. You've heard the phrase ball and chain, right? At a barbecue, from a guy at work, a comedian on stage. The old ball and chain. My old lady. Gotta ask the boss. Shoot. I even joke that I've got to run things past my wife because she's of my rib. But what goes through your head?
Hi.
Hi.
You must be Terry. I'm sorry I've been hiding, honey, but this dinner was tricky. Oof.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Sheila Gamble, his wife.
Come on, seriously, who is that?
His old lady.
Sweetie, it's a workstation.
Got it.
You come in here dressed like a hobo. It's distracting.
I know you're working. I'm so sorry.
Come on. Seriously. Come on, what? Who is that?
It's the old ball and chain.
Maybe it's just a colloquialism, a joke. But more often, I think that phrase is an excuse, an outsourcing of responsibility and decision-making. I totally would, but, you might have a ball and chain, but it's not your wife or the kids. That ball and chain is more subtle and much more binding. It travels along with you, only giving the slightest inclination that something is there at all. Something that can and should be left behind. What if we're wrong about what's holding us back? What if the things we're cutting loose are the things that could pull us forward? Anchors come in all shapes and sizes. Some should be released, left at the bottom of the ocean, and others, although weighty, can be used to help us navigate the world. The question is, which is which? I'm on a boat. Picture a standard anchor, the kind tattooed on the arm of any sailor worth their salt. Heavy, attached by a chain, designed to dig in deep and hold you in place. When you drop this, you're not going anywhere. That's the point. It's called a bower anchor, and its main purpose is to keep you put. While exploring, you don't want your ship drifting out to sea. You want it right where you left it. But you need to make sure you can pull the anchor up. You need to make sure you don't anchor too early out in the deep waters, or worse, before you ever leave the docks. You've got to ensure it's of proper size. Not so big it throws off the physics of the ship, not so heavy the vessel limps along, no matter your efforts. Some anchors are just too big for us to navigate with, and they need to be released. But there is a different type of anchor, a kedge anchor. Have you heard of it? Smaller, lighter, attached by a rope instead of a chain. Not used to hold position, but to move. Sailors would row it out ahead of the ship in a small boat, drop it, and then pull the larger vessel towards it. The kedge anchor is a tool for getting unstuck, for pulling yourself somewhere new, like a nautical grappling hook. The difference is both size and purpose. One anchor holds you in place, the other pulls you forward. That's heavy. In life, heavy bower anchors are the deep-rooted things that hold us in place. Fear, self-doubt, a toxic environment, a career you've outgrown. They're attached by chain, heavy, slow to move, and designed to resist motion. But they're also love, passion, and community. These can be bower anchors as well. So it's not just the size, it's the purpose. What the anchor does, whether it holds you in place or pulls you somewhere. My career in consulting was a big, fat, heavy anchor. A man has to earn a living, so you might think that weight was all pay stubs and status. But the real weight was heavier. The anchor much deeper. The chain holding it much stronger. It was self-doubt. The question I couldn't answer. Could I earn it a different way? I still remember the day I decided to quit. I'd been going to a therapist for quite some time, and all the sessions kept coming back to one thing. My job. Not my parents, not the old ball and chain, not my childhood trauma, my current trauma, my place of employment. What did my shrink suggest? St. John's wort. I came home and talked to my wife. I said, it's like I've got a bad tooth, abscessed, rotten. I kept icing it, numbing it, trying anything to treat the pain. But what if I just pull it out? And so I did, and I put in my notice, and I felt better. And I still do. I'm adrift, so to speak, but I'm happily adrift, with a kedge in hand, at the ready. I've had other anchors, big heavy bastards, that I've managed to leave behind as well. Drinking is one of them. Once part of my personality, part of my habits, part of my hobbies. It wasn't the sideshow, it was the main event. What are you doing tonight? Drinking. I was able to cut that chain, except for a few weekends a year when I find myself in those shallow waters once again. Anxiety, fear, anger, indifference, anchors. Heavy, slow to move, designed to resist motion, and totally worth the effort to break that chain and release them to the seas. Cut it out. All this anchor talk has me thinking about a very common mistake I've witnessed. I've been a participant as well. Instead of going after the heavy chain attached to their massive anchor, people grab scissors and steak knives and start hacking at the ropes, at the small lines, at the kedge anchors. It's much easier to cut out carbs than it is to deal with the underlying issues that have you grazing in the pantry cupboard all afternoon. And it feels productive because things are falling away. Splash. The ship is getting lighter, more buoyant. Splash. But the big anchor hasn't moved. And worse, you just cut loose the very tools that could help navigate those waters. Splash? It's human nature. We pick the low-hanging fruit. Rope is easy to cut. Chain requires real tools, real effort, and the willingness to drift for a while without knowing where you'll end up. The family member that you cut out of your life, were they really the bower anchor you thought? Or perhaps the issues you're having with them are rooted in something else, something between your own ears, something that person might have been willing to help with, if only you'd been willing to do the work. Wherever you go, there you are. The anchor came with you. A friend has been sitting on a creative project for years. The work is done, but there's always one more edit, one more reason to wait, one more way to avoid putting it out there. The anchor isn't the project. Hire and fire another producer, another mentor, another life coach, another collaborator. Those are the Kedge anchors being cut away. The big-ass bower remains. When I was in middle school, I thought for sure I'd find myself a lady that loved all the same things I did. Baseball, Super Nintendo, and Green Day. Turns out I had some flexibility, but I've seen friends cut out women one after the next because of small things like this. Snip, snip, snip. The larger anchor remains. Fear of vulnerability, fear of being trapped, of being seen, fear of change, of compromise. And they cut away the kedge, the relationship itself, that could have pulled them towards growth. Snipping the rope is easier than working that chain. They're older now, still in that place, anchored, with far fewer tools at their disposal. Kedge anchors in disguise. The phrase ball and chain frames a spouse and a family as pure weight. But the same commitment that constrains you is what can pull you. You make better decisions because people are watching. You think longer term. You show up differently. For me, coaching feels like a massive anchor at times. A ball and chain I can't escape. I see kids and families all over town. Hey, Coach Dave. Mid-season, when I'm trying to set up a vacation, a camping trip, shoot, a day at the pool, or playing golf, it feels like the biggest bower of them all. The time, the energy, the schedule. But it pulls in so many positive ways. Toward time with my son. Toward good habits. Toward great families. Toward a type of person. The kind of person worthy of coaching those kids. I wouldn't want to do anything that changes how those kids see me. Coach Dave. I'm accountable to them and their families. That's a kedge. This commitment constrains me in ways that sometimes feel heavy, and those same constraints create a better version of me than I'd be untethered. I've joked that my own vanity, an anchor in some ways, is what's kept me from becoming an alcoholic, a sloth, or worse. Ever see an old man that drinks too much? It's sad. They look tired, fat, bloated. A little vanity will get you up early and off to the gym. And that's hard to do with a hangover. The real skill. What are you cutting loose that might be useful? These kedge anchors are easy to cut. A few snips at the rope and they're gone. But that same ease works the other way. With the same effort it takes to snip that rope, you could instead row it out. Use it as a tool. Does it have direction or just weight? Is it pulling me somewhere or just holding me in place? A bower anchor has gravity. It has teeth. It sits there. It holds. The kedge has direction. You move it ahead and you haul yourself toward it. I've made real progress dropping the anchor of negativity to the seafloor. Cynicism, pessimism, the reflexive cutting remark, those were bowers holding me in place, keeping people at a distance. But what often gets misconstrued as negativity, a bit of gallows humor, A well-timed, dark joke, that's different. I've hurt people's feelings with it. I've misjudged the room. But I've also saved meetings with it. I've defused tension, moved groups forward when everyone else was frozen. That's a kedge, if I learn when to throw it and when to stow it. Anchors away. The phrase ball and chain frames commitment as a weight. A spouse, a family, a team, a responsibility. But what if that's exactly backwards? What if the things people complain about, the obligations, the expectations, the people depending on you aren't the bower anchors at all? What if they're the kedge? The thing you haul against when the wind dies. The thing that pulls you somewhere you'd never drift on your own. Most people don't want to admit that. It's easier to joke about being held back than admit you'd be lost without it. I never fully broke that corporate chain and left the anchor behind. I only had the courage to quit once I had enough. I got to the point of not needing the job anymore financially, but I still have that anchor. I've pulled it aboard and stowed it away, but it's there, and it will be until I create something, build something that's successful in another way. And maybe that's why I spend so much time at my screen, pecking at keys, and seeing if I can do this thing that I love at a level that others will love as well. Self-doubt is one hell of a drug. But look around. A lot of us aren't being held back by our anchors. We're being pulled forward by them. There we have it. That's the pod. Thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, please share it with a friend. Give it a thumbs up. And if you've got a few extra seconds, give it a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you are listening. The engagement will make you feel so good, and it'll help other people find the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
All right, there you go, America. I love you. I'm proud of you. I mean it.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. This is great.